Good evening, students at Jose Escandon STEM Elementary. This is your school counselor, Mr. Jose Vasquez. And this evening, I'm going to be reading to you the book called Shh. The author is Julie Sykes, and the illustrator is Tim Warnes. We're going to begin our story now. It was Christmas Eve, and Santa was in a jolly mood. Jingle bells, jingle all the way, sang Santa noisily, as he loaded all the toys onto the sleigh. Shh, Santa whispered the reindeer. You have to be quiet tonight. You mustn't wake the children. I'll try not to, said Santa, but I do like singing. Over the moonlit world they sped, towards the sleeping children. Santa was so excited that he forgot to land on the roof of the first house. Busy, busy, busy bee, roared Santa, coming down to land in the yard and meeting a friendly cat. Happy Christmas, cat! The cat waved her tail in the air. Shh, Santa, she whispered back. You mustn't wake the children. Of course I won't, said Santa, jumping out of the sleigh. Over the house was sleeping as Santa threw the sack over his shoulder and tippy-toed along the path toward the back door. Only the snowman was awake. Whoa, whoa, whoo, whoopsie, cried Santa, sliding on a patch of ice and crashing to the ground. Shh, Santa, whispered the snowman. You mustn't wake the children. Sorry, said Santa, picking himself up and bouncing indoors. But Christmas is my favorite time of year. When he reached the Christmas tree, Santa stopped bouncing and pulled some presents from his sack. A jack-in-the-box burst out and made Santa jump in surprise. Hee hee, hee hee, hee hee, hee hee, laughed Santa, clapping his hands. Shh, Santa, whispered the family's dog, who was watching the fun. You mustn't wake the children. Mustn't wake the children? Agreed Santa. He put his finger in his lips and crept across the room. But he didn't notice the tinsel trailing all over the floor until it was too late. Bumpity, bumpity, bump, boomed Santa, landing on a roller skate. He skipped across the carpet and fell headfirst into the fireplace. It was a good thing the fire was out. Achoo! Squeezed Santa, rubbing his snot from his nose. Shh, Santa, said the kitten, sleeping from the armchair by the hearth. You mustn't wake the children. Yes, we must be quiet, whispered Santa, scrambling to his feet. Santa picked up his sack and hurried back to his sleigh. There were lots more visits to make before Christmas Day, but at last his sack was empty. Santa rubbed his eyes sleepily and called, Home, reindeer! And with a toss of their heads and a jingle of bells, the reindeer leaped into the sky. Ho, 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 shouted Santa loudly. Here we are, home at last. Shh, Santa, he added quietly to himself. I know I mustn't wake the children. It had been a busy night, and Santa felt very tired. He made himself a cup of hot cocoa, put on his slippers, lay back on his armchair, and fell fast asleep. Zzz, snored Santa. Munch, munch, crunch, went the reindeer as they tucked into their supper. Shh, squeaked Santa's little mouse. You mustn't wake Santa. And that is the end of our story. I hope you enjoyed this story I just read to you all. Have a good evening and Merry Christmas.